Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zeng. With the Beijing Winter Olympics approaching, and as the CCP regime is getting more and more nervous, Omicron suddenly appeared in a megacity that is only 60 miles away from Beijing. How serious is the situation, and how will this affect the Beijing Olympics? Today, let's talk about these issues. 2 days ago, on January 8th, Tianjin City reported 20 local Omicron infections. Yesterday, 20 more cases were confirmed. And out of the 40 cases, half of the infected ones are elementary school students. And this is the report today. See the sharp jump in cases in the past 2 days. It says up to now, Tianjin has 113 active cases. The problem is neither of the first two people who were infected with Omicron had left Tianjin in the past 14 days, nor had they been in contact with an outside source of infection. So it is still a mystery how these two people got infected. And immediately, all the 14 million people in Tianjin were required to do testing. Starting from yesterday, that is January 9th, the testing needed to be done in 2 days. Let's watch a video first. It is a combination of short clips from different testing locations. The last two were from Shenzhen City, where new cases were also found.
看看小站做核酸的，小站做核酸的人们都跟赶大集上的，比赶大集都厉害。这家吧要有一个得的啊，都够呛。看看这人们。
孩子不得急死了！钱够了，钱够了。
受检人登录大规模核酸筛查，二维码贴图，提前打开粤康码行程卡贴图，提前打开粤核
做核酸检测，深圳上沙中州湾这个地方看不到头啊！
Well, what do you think? So many people packed together like sardines. It is now a standard procedure for the CCP to test everyone if any new cases are found in the city. And not only just one test. In Xi'an, everyone is getting a test every 2 days. It is said that half of the infected people got infected during the process of doing the mass testing. Because of the huge quantity of testing, Tianjin's health code system collapsed too, just like what happened in Xi'an. On January 8th, the Tianjin authorities issued a notice of strict control measures, asking people not to leave Tianjin unless it is absolutely necessary. And on January 9th, the authorities issued another notice stating that people who want to leave Tianjin must have a negative testing result and a green health code within 48 hours. And they also need permission from their workplaces or communities. So right now, Tianjin is virtually locked down. All incoming and outgoing buses are stopped. The train station has stopped selling tickets, and the citywide delivery service has been given a halt too. People in Tianjin also learned lessons from people in Xi'an and rushed to stock up as soon as new cases were reported. Let's see a few photos showing empty shelves in Tianjin. So you see. So this is people lining up in front of a supermarket to get in. So this is the panic buying in Tianjin. As Tianjin is only about 60 miles away from Beijing, and it is now only less than 4 weeks away from the Winter Olympics, you can just imagine how nervous the CCP would be. The authorities in Beijing issued an order today banning the so-called 4 categories of people from entering Beijing, including people from counties where there are 1 or more local cases. People who have been to these counties in the past 14 days are also banned. This is to say, if there is 1 case somewhere, all the people from that place are banned from entering Beijing. But the problem is the relationship between cases in Tianjin and the chain of transmission suggests that cases have been transmitted for at least 3 generations. So this means the virus may have been transmitted in the community for some time already. And also by checking the map of where people who left Tianjin last week have been to, one can find that Beijing was their #1 destiny. As a matter of fact, many people live in Tianjin but commute to Beijing to work every day. On January 4th, 32% of people who left Tianjin ended up in Beijing. So it is highly possible that the virus has already been spread to Beijing. Only the CCP will not disclose it, even if it is the case. Actually, a social media post says that 4 athletes from Spain tested positive when arrived in Beijing. They were required to quarantine themselves at a hotel, but they left the hotel and had been to Sanlitun for fun. Sanlitun is a popular destination in Beijing for shopping, dining, and entertainment, and many foreigners like to go there. Anyway, the CCP was very quick to announce that this was a rumor and that the person who spread this rumor is a 39-year-old woman whose surname is Chen. She was already arrested and will be held criminally responsible. The police reminds everyone not to believe in or spread rumors online, etc. So you can see that how hysterical the CCP's control over online speech has become. But the problem is, Tianjin is not the only place that has seen an outbreak. Look at this map. Apart from Beijing, which is on the top, all the cities in the red circles have reported new cases. Zhengzhou, the capital city of Henan province, issued a notice requiring that from today on, that is January 10th, the city's primary and high schools, as well as kindergartens, are all to be closed. They need to teach online instead. Government agencies, enterprises, and institutions are also required to reduce the gathering of employees, and there should be no dining in at any of the restaurants in the city. As of January 8th, all the 157 colleges and universities in Henan province have been closed. Also, Beijing is located in the northern part of the North China Plain, while Henan province in the south of Beijing is the main transportation route into Beijing. But now, since new outbreaks have appeared in Zhengzhou and Xi'an city in Henan province, so all passengers who take trains that pass through Henan province cannot enter Beijing. Another province that is close to Beijing is Shanxi province. On January 6, the Shanxi government issued a notice requesting that nobody should leave Shanxi unless it is absolutely necessary. People entering and returning to Shanxi need to report to the authorities and do testing immediately. On January 9th, Jingcheng City in Shanxi province issued a notice saying that buses from Henan province were not allowed to enter Shanxi. People who have been to Henan province were asked to leave. Even freight trucks are not allowed, etc. In order to ensure that nothing goes wrong with the Winter Olympics, the CCP has actually divided people into two different circles. The CCP calls it closed circle management. The athletes and the staff of the Winter Olympics will live in one circle, while all the rest of other people live in another circle. So people in the two circles are not only physically separated, but even their internet connections are different. People in the circle for foreigners can access foreign websites without having to jump over the Great Firewall. And in order to ensure that the two circles do not intersect, even when there is an accident with the Olympic vehicle, the people of Beijing cannot go up and touch it. They can only watch from afar, etc. And all the competitions in Beijing, Zhangjiakou, and Yanqing will be held in closed conditions. So under this policy, we can only imagine that people in Tianjin may probably be locked up until the Winter Olympics finishes. When the CCP made this closed circle management method, they thought they would be able to contain the virus within the circle where the foreign athletes live. For cases outside that circle, the CCP can immediately isolate and deal with them. But now, with the outbreak already out of control in Tianjin, it may become very difficult for the CCP's closed circle management method to work. Also, there are other two possible risks. One is if there is a massive outbreak during the games, what can the CCP do to handle it? Suspend the games? As the athletes and international media there can use the internet that is really connected to the outside world, it will be very hard for the CCP to block the news. Another problem is, as athletes will be living in a closed circle, if anything happens to them, diplomats in Beijing will be unable to provide proper assistance to their nationals as the diplomats are living in another circle. All countries will face the same problem. Now, let's do a very quick update on Xi'an. Although authorities have announced that they have achieved the goal of zeroing out the virus on a social level, the lockdown hasn't been eased up. Instead, now they are putting up individual tape on people's doors to make it harder for people to leave. Do you see this seal? Ironically, the Chinese words on the tape read, "As long as you are safe and well, it is a sunny day for us." And this is a notice issued by the CDC in Yanta district in Xi'an on January 8th. It says, to ensure the safety of the people, 196 communities and 6 spots are now under strictly closed management. Seals are to be put up on the doors of all the residents in those communities, and nobody should go out at all. And people continue to starve. Some people are exchanging food with one another as they can't buy it from anywhere. One post says someone has traded his iPhone for a bag of rice. Well, that's the basic situation in Tianjin, Xi'an, and other places in China. How will things develop there? I will keep you updated. So please make sure you are still subscribed to my channel. One user, Global Fortune, told me that he or she got unsubscribed without his or her knowledge. So please make sure you check your subscription status once in a while to make sure you are still subscribed. You can also go to my website at jenniferzengblog.com to check if there are any new videos, sign up for a membership, or make a donation. Thank you very much. See you soon.